It's time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast.
Welcome to the show. It is time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast. Y'all stay with us. We're going to welcome our guest, Mr. Clyde Cain, someone from our neck of the woods. He is the founder of the Louisiana Cajun Navy. If you don't know who they are, well, you're about to find out. It's an amazing organization. Also want to get into the government just registering the domain Aliens.gov. I hope it's to let us know that they have little green men that are ready to meet us. And we're going to talk a little bit about this massive fraud in California that's been exposed. But first, on a serious note, I want to acknowledge that we have lost an American icon, Mr. Chuck Norris. May he rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Clyde, I know I seen on your Facebook page, before I introduce you to the audience, I know I saw on your Facebook page earlier that y'all kind of had a connection to Chuck Norris.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I've met Des was 2 times. When I used to live in Dallas, he came over and was filming a one of the episodes with Clarence over at an old bank there in Denton, Texas. And I got to meet him then when my son was real young. And then years later, here we are. We get a call from his wife, and they donated a lot of, like, just pallets and pallets and pallets of that Sea-Force water. And when I tell you this water is some of the best water you've ever drank, and I would hand it out to the officers and stuff, ice cold, and said, listen, if you ever drank water from Jesus's goblet, this is what it would taste like, basically.
Wow.
It was that good. I mean, it got me hooked on. I mean, I can't drink really the regular water, Sea-Force water, but yes, he donated. He made sure that we had pallets of that water to give out every, pretty much for about 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Yeah.
Well, he was a good man, man. And I know
Good
myself,
man.
I grew up watching him, just, amazing action hero. So rest in peace, Chuck Norris. But let me introduce the audience to you, Clyde. Again, he is the founder and the CEO of Louisiana Cajun Navy, the group that's been out there in the worst floods and storms, pulling people to safety and basically sticking around to help in any way that they can. Their mission is clear. It is to rescue, relieve, rebuild, and they have proven it time and time again. Clyde, what you got going on right now, man? Those tornadoes that kind of hit Illinois pretty hard over there?
Yeah. So the way the organization works, I mean, everyone's seen us deploy out to areas, and, we've been to Houston, Carolinas, everywhere, and just set up points of distribution. Lately, with the last 2 years with the outbreaks of tornadoes and flooding, totally different beast than responding to a hurricane. Some of the same damage, but you're dealing with, sometimes just isolated areas and that they're just cut off from everything. So we've got a couple methods, and this method works at this point where we connect the need. We just open up our network. So I'm having to do what an admin usually does. I'm a guy who likes to be out in the field. I'm a hands-on guy, but being here, navigating where I have the power and the resources to get it up there, we just plug in with someone else that's up there. And Jackie's up there. She's plugged in with the church, Redeeming Ministries, and United Cajun Navy. We teamed up. They sent a load up, got that up. We've been directing everybody from our page to, and of course, opening up our broadcast system for them, which is our network, which is most crucial because once the media stops, even covering it everyone forgets about it. They move on. I mean, there's bigger stories. There's a war. There's the files. There's UFOs. That it's, if you're not watching if you're not local and you didn't see the weather happen, there's a lot of people. If you polled most of your listeners somewhere else, didn't even know that this happened unless they follow us. And it's isolated, but it's huge. It's a lot of homes damaged. 300 homes totally destroyed. Over 1,000, these people are really, really struggling right now.
Well, it is amazing that you just kind of mentioned that without organizations like yours, this kind of gets lost in the news cycle, and people who go through those tragedies just get forgot about quick.
Absolutely.
If the media is not covering them, like you said, people don't even realize it's still going on, and they just move on about their daily lives. So yeah, it's amazing that you guys get out there as quick as you can and then stick around. I thought, honestly, it was kind of, you get in there, you help while the tragedy's going on or the storm is going on, and then y'all are just kind of move on. But I didn't realize, y'all stick around for the long haul and make sure these people have what they need, from what I understand.
Well, in an incident like this, the tornado happened. They're 11 hours away from us. I mean, for us to be able to mobilize as quick as we had someone there that had already joined up with us the past 2 years for the Florida tornado or hurricanes, and they brought trucks down. So we reciprocate. Same with Mattress Mac. We brought Mattress Mac and furniture, gallery furniture, a big giant truck right after the Harvey hurricane. Well, he reciprocated when we were down in Ida, down there in La Plaza, and we had that whole parking lot there. He sent us 20 trucks. I mean, that's on our website. They can see 20 trucks rolling in. So, you know, it goes back and forth. And Jack did that for us down there. So when she called out and said, hey, call to action, we need you guys, we immediately, you know, used our tools and got the flyer up and got with United Cajun Navy, mobilized really quick over the phones virtually, and got an announcement up so that we could start to continue to promote that and get that out there, because the media wasn't.
Yeah. No, it's awesome to watch how fast it happens. What are the big challenges though when trying to coordinate something like that? I mean, citizen-led rescues and stuff. I mean, what's the biggest challenges y'all face?
Really just, if I'm not out there, like in this situation, it's really different for me because it's a communication thing. So communication can break down. People start talking to each other and different things, and it could mess a point of distribution up real quick. But
Sure.
we have solid people there. So overcoming those things that we've had problems in the past, stuff like that, you know, someone saying you can set up here, we start setting up and they go, no, we want to change. We have to move everything somewhere else. So getting that solid point of distribution right after the storm, working with a property manager or an owner, is very crucial. Those are some things, you know, we have to overcome, but it seems that we always, you know, someone steps up to the plate and
Sure.
it gives us a point. Other than that, you know, we deal with it. It's not always a boat, just, you know, deployment anymore. It's grown to something bigger than that. It's just virtual. We're virtual emergency supply network, and as well as dispatching people from all over. We try to dispatch people in our network that's joined up the closest, of course, because we don't want to send people from Louisiana when we have people there in Tennessee or somewhere else that can go in, and they're calling and willing to join up. So it really, the challenges over the years has been volunteers, getting just the man people. But I think everyone with the movement and the mission, and they see what we do consistently, they all want to be a part of it and get that feeling that you get when you go and, you know, lay your life down and give something to someone else. And everyone leaves with a different feeling about themselves. I've gotten so many testimonies about, man, I'm glad you allowed us to come in and actually give out the donations too. I'm not trying to micromanage. If they want to join, that's the best way to do is get someone that's coming up with donations and let them stay. They got 2-3 hours. All right. So really, like I said, volunteers, but when people, you know, allow them to, the way we operate, when you allow them to come in and join up with the group and do what they're doing and work there under our safety, it really, that's when it just spirals and grows.
Well, real quick, just because I've got somebody in the chats wanting to know, where can people donate to the Louisiana Cajun Navy? What do they need to know?
Go to our page. All the information is there for this particular, I guess, disaster, you want to call it. That's tornado. Anything going there, we're trying to direct funds to, you know, directly there, so they're not actually going through us, because I'm an LLC, so I'm going to have to pay tax on that. So we try to direct it, including the funding. If they want to donate to us for us to continue to put gas in the vehicles and everything else, they can go to louisianacn.com, and that takes you to all of our platforms. Gives you, I mean, that's our base right there. Of course, there's our Facebook page. That's Louisiana Cajun Navy, and it has all the up-to-date things that are going on right now in the mission we're on. So we'd like to direct those funds directly to, you know, search up there. I want to tell you to, you know, do your due diligence. Make sure you're not giving to someone that says they're us or whatever. Give it to the people. So the need, you know, don't pass it through a bunch of hands. Make sure it gets right to the people. That's what we always did.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but they already asking, so that was good to actually see that, you know, people already trying to get involved just in our little chat. But just to go back, awesome. As far as the origins, man, what got you started with this? Because it's been since 2016?
Actually, since 2005 for me, not listed as a Cajun Navy.
Right.
2005, I was here for Katrina, as well as everyone else that, you know, that went through that. And immediately after the boat rescues and everything that was happening, on the North Shore, we started transporting people in off the bridges and stuff, bringing them to our church, started us a shelter and took care of those people all the way until we got them into the first FEMA trailer park that they put in Louisiana, which is here in Hammond. And then they had another one in Baker. And so I finished up with that, and I went on down, and I'd formed a nonprofit called Team of Hope at the time, working through my church up here. And we went down, and I started, working with cleaning up the city, not volunteer. I was working for Phillips and Jordan at the time, and cleaned up the whole Ninth Ward and over there off the west end, the east end over there, New Orleans East.
Yeah.
And so years later, and that's when everyone dubbed the Cajun Navy. It was, it was something that a news reporter, everybody started calling them. Years later, when it happened again, everyone mobilized, or everyone did what they did. I saw a need for a mobilization. I saw a need for we took a group and we just branded it and made it a group, so that was more formal rather than loose knit, so we could continue to operate, which we joined up with John Snyder, Bo Duke, Scott Innes, and everyone just started helping us promote the long term. And we did that up until 2017 when Harvey hit, because we were still helping out Baton Rouge. And that's when things really got big for us. Everybody went over there. And that's when all the groups pretty much had a name that are still working. 2016, United Cajun Navy. And we kind of work together when we can. We actually just kind of try to stay out of each other's way when we go out there for the most part.
Sure.
Everybody doesn't always play good on the playground together. It's the typical stuff, but in the background. But we try to keep that. I don't entertain that on my page. It's not about nothing. But I'm not about I'm not about the clout. I'm about to save. All about saving. It ain't about the clout. Y'all haven't seen me do a live video for so long because I haven't needed to. I have a network now. All I have to do is call on them and they show up.
Well, it's funny too, because I was scrolling your Facebook page and it's hard to even find you on it. Like you personally, it's just you're just putting out information on what's going on and where to donate and where, so it is nice to see that it's not just you up there smiling and dancing.
No, I mean, you can go on the old videos. There's one there where I'm driving through like Harvey.
I saw it.
Harvey. I've been through it, so I don't need to. Like I said, I'm not trying to get out there to be famous. And
no, it just shows you're doing it
right.
You're doing it for the right reason, is what it shows. Because like I said, I had to go down pretty far to really find you, so to say. And it's
my left hand don't know what my right hand's doing. And he said, when you took care of the least of my people, you took care of me. It ain't about me. And if I can get everybody to have that, I mean, I'm just trying to inspire everyone to do what we're doing and join in. And the more people that join in, man, it's great. I like letting go of the reins, but I've been 911 here. It's been
hearing you talk, it just reminds me, because we all went through Katrina down here, and just the way that people were going out of their way to help others was just amazing to watch. And it seems like that's kind of what you guys witness everywhere y'all go. I mean, it's just that attitude of trying to do for somebody that's in trouble. And I know in Katrina, everybody was in trouble, but people were still reaching out to their neighbors and friends and whoever they could to just say, hey, do you need anything? And it was a great feeling, like you described earlier. It just gives you a good feeling to help people when you can,
Yes, sir. And in Ida, down there, you're only as good as the last point of distribution. I tell everybody, these guys, in Lake Charles and in Ida, we like to just put, I want to put music out there. I run it like Chick-fil-A on a Saturday. You coming through, I'm going to have you passing by hearing some Zydeco music, and for just a little bit, you're out of the zone and you're getting your supplies and you're getting hope, restoring hope, right. For a minute. Yep. And just being there for them when they know, and we've become just that icon that when we show up, they know help's coming and they know in some form they're going to get attention. So that's what we just try to keep that going.
Yeah. It's a great thing that you do, man. It really is. And, I hope people go to the website and donate. And but I was reading a little bit about y'all, and even they talking about putting a House bill, right? 329? So
that got squashed. They got squashed.
Did it really? It got squashed?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because some of the other groups are like, it was a bill that was one. It was just listing one person, so the other groups got offended. So of course.
Well, wait. So educate me. What is that? What is?
There was a bill that was to make United Cajun Navy. It was just for them to be able to resource and have more sources, and of course not have to pay the taxes for the state, being recognized as first responders. But it doesn't stop us from what we're doing. It doesn't change everything or set us back. there was just a little kickback from it, and I expected it. I mean, I didn't care either way because I'm not a nonprofit trying to be an emergency response group. I'm a humanitarian group, and I'm an LLC, and I don't charge anything, but we're there for this. We protect everything that comes in. It goes straight out. There's no walls. I don't have any donations that come to me and then it's straight in the parking lot or straight to the point of distribution, and someone sees it arrive. I got documentation, and it goes out, and that's how I see YA.
Yeah.
Keep giving, man. Yeah,
well, do you have to
absolutely.
coordinate with like official first responders or FEMA or anybody when y'all go do this stuff?
I do out of respect. First of all, they have to call us and message my page. I don't run up and go, here we are.
Okay.
So if they reach out to us, and which they did, and asked us to help out, in any kind of way, it's usually we're talking to the mayor, or we're talking to the sheriff's department, or we're talking to the fire department. We're talking to somebody that's going to be our point of contact there. We're going to go under their covering, because we're not first responders, we're second responders, and we just come in right.
Have y'all had any issues with local law enforcement or anything? I've seen that in the past where they'll kind of try to take it over. Yeah,
that was a long time ago. They welcome us now. They work alongside us, and that validates what we're doing. If you're willing to work alongside the sheriff's department and everybody else, and the people that are out there that are trying to be a criminal or trying to do something fake, they won't do that. So that, again, we definitely do. North Carolina had a little kickback in New Bern. They didn't really want to help, so I ended up walking in waist deep water. That's on my YouTube channel. I was out there and in the middle of a hurricane going to rescue somebody because we didn't have a boat that we could put in because it was too windy. But other in statewide now, even Texas, they gave us our own day. So, and they don't give us any kickback. But then again, we don't go out there and really disrespect them or disrespect their authority too.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Just following up on what Justin was saying about people giving pushback. I didn't know if it was like where you see in the movies where the FBI shows up and the local police are like, "Oh God, here we go," and then they're just got attitudes with each other.
Nah,
get out of here.
So you don't really. So but like you said, they basically ask for your.
And they show, and they're in the line every day, or they come over, and we just make sure we make a delivery over to the police station, make sure they're fed well, and they get some of that good Seaforce water. There's a lot of officers out there tell you. Clyde walked up to my car and said, "Hey man, y'all like Chuck Norris?" And they go, "Yeah." I said, "How about some Chuck Norris water?" And they were like,
"I've got to try some of this water now."
Me too, man. I got to look it up.
It's a roundhouse kick of hydration. That's what's on there.
That's what's on it. I love it.
That's pretty cool.
I love it, man. Well, so as far as trying to scale it up even more, I mean, what's the challenges in that? Is it just finding volunteers? I mean, or is it money? I mean, what's the biggest, or the hardest thing that you face trying to get this thing bigger than it is?
Well, funding always. I mean, right now, if I had a big, huge building, which there's one here in Hammond, and I've talked to the owner of it. He owns most of Hammond, but I mean, he wants $500,000 for this place, and it's the old dirt cheap building, but it would be perfect here. We need more space. We need someone that's just sitting with a building that would say, "Hey, look, I'm willing to, take in more donations and everything that we can get in early. So we've got this stuff instead of trying to get it, like United Cajun Navy, we're getting stuff in, and they've got stuff constantly going out because they do year round also. So just having, when someone's wanting to donate, I'm getting about 18,000 pounds of food that's going to be given to us in next couple of months, and I'm trying to arrange for that, to have that to go out for these storms that are coming up and be able to store it. So storage is a big thing. Other than that, volunteers and everything, it really depends on where we're at and what part of the country you're in. And I really I was a little surprised and that that there's been no problems whatsoever as far as any violence or anything like that. No one's tried to steal anything or anything from up that way, because I know there was a lot of stuff going on in Chicago, and Kankakee's just right outside that. But so far, everyone's been, I guess when you get the finger of God coming through there, you kind of change your mind about things a little bit, and everyone kind of wakes up and goes, "Oh, hang on a minute, we're not outside of the eye."
No, exactly.
No, man, that's what's the time frame over there in Illinois? Is there one? I mean, are y'all kind of
right now we're trying to restock for this weekend. We just United Cajun Navy's filling a truck right now, getting it ready for there, and we just put up an updated list because we don't want people just sending anything. We're trying to keep them itemized, what we have enough of, what we can need more of. So the page it probably has a new updated list I just made for her. I tell you what, if it wasn't for Grok, I wouldn't have been able to pull off a lot of stuff I did this time, because I can't sit at a computer and create flyers and do all this stuff and answer the phone. So, oh my God.
It's funny you say that. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask you, is just how technology has changed the game for you. You know, what's been the best, I guess, advancement in it that's made your job easier, which I guess you just named one, just Grok's helping you save time now.
Absolutely.
On that stuff. And, all of the social media. Well, from the first time, since I got an associate's degree in music video business from the Art Institute. So I never thought I'd have a full studio, editing, Photoshop, everything in my pocket. And to be able to go out there and do what I did with the phone, being able to use 2 phones and 2 guys and a white Tahoe. And we started Louisiana Cajun Navy and delivered 11,000 meals from Operation Barbecue Relief the first week right out the gate after 2016. And the phone has always, my iPhone now Pro Max, and I need to get up more for more storage, but I have the entire story from when I started in my phone, and videos, live videos and everything. And so being able to use all that technology, broadcast it out, edit it, do iMovies and do all that stuff on the fly. But now AI has taken that and given me so much more to do. I can do it so fast and still do my other, my phone calls and stay plugged in with the CEOs and the people volunteering and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's got to be an amazing difference from just back in the day before all that was around, where everything you have to call people and you know what I mean? It just changes everything. You just got a computer in your pocket all the time.
Yeah.
So,
and let me ask you, man, as far as like shipping goods up there that through donations or stuff y'all buy or people give you, it's the whole spectrum of stuff. It could be from water to hygiene products to shoes to
you just named most of the stuff. Yeah, most of the stuff you just named. Shoes, we just sent like everything from hand warmers to pallets of gas cans, baby diapers, jackets, just baby wipes, all the stuff they need to kick them off. And then everybody up there, like I said, they become resourceful. The girl that's running it up there said, "Yeah, we need milk." I'm like, "Yeah, we don't do milk." So she went out and she's finding out that she has more talents. She went and got the dairy to give them 126 gallons of milk. And, so people start to see, okay, I get it, Clyde, you're resourcing and you're networking. I'm like, yeah, I'm turning you on our network, and all the eyes are on you now. Your phone number's out there.
It is.
Welcome to the club. I tell them,
it's a good thing, man, because this country is just a giving country. We really are deep down. We really are a giving country. We help people, and people that, if it's hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever it might be, monsoons or flooding, it seems like there's always somebody there to step up. And for you to do that and, dedicate your life to it. Look, man, that's hats off to you, man. It's a good thing, man. It really
they've lost faith in where to give. And that's what man, if I don't do anything at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure that if I tell you something that you're not going to come back and say, Clyde, that turned out real bad. And in 10 years, I haven't had that happen yet. So, I pride myself on making sure that, it's vetted. It's real. Yep. It's not, you're not just people. And like I said, people, they had lost faith. And when we all came out, everyone's like, oh, we trust these guys. They're showing us what they're doing. It's like reaching through the screen and they're actually touching that person that they're giving to personally. So it works.
Such a good point you made about people just, losing faith on where to give. That's not some sort of scam, man, because I come across it myself, and it makes you second guess giving, and it's a shame because people will take advantage of it if allowed to. And so that is a real good point. But Brad, you made a good point too. This country is still just full of millions of people that are willing to give. And if you pay too much attention to just the media and the bad news that's coming through every day, you wouldn't think that. But then when tragedy strikes, people come running, And I mentioned it earlier that we saw that firsthand with what we went through down here in Louisiana. Pretty much every storm that comes through and destroys some city, you see it. And it's good to know that still is there. It's still around. It's still in our culture. It's just when you stay online too much or go, pay too much attention to news, so and you start losing sight of that, but it's still there.
And look, you'll always have your scammers that are going to come through because there's a money flowing through, and you always scammers are always preying on the people that are at their worst, so when that happens, but it's a good thing what you do, brother. I appreciate it. And like I said, locally, I have my business here. We donate a lot to the North Shore Food Bank and some other organizations. I like to donate locally, man, because I feel like that's where my money's being spent, So I think it's being used to the max, And from what you're saying, what you're doing, don't donate to me. Donate straight to the cause, man. Dude, that goes a long way with me, man. That really does,
Well, also we always had a problem. People want to give us clothes, and if you look on some of my older videos, I'd get mad because they dump the clothes in the middle of the medium or something for people to pick through, and I'm like, "Is this what you want your mom out here digging through this for clothes?"
No,
really would.
exactly.
That's not being a good steward of the clothes, but they would do that to us. So I was like, I'd pray about it. I go, Lord, I need an answer to this. So a buddy of mine here, actually over in Covington, he started the with Grant's Gift Foundation, they started the clothing bins that are everywhere now. I put out about 80 of them with him throughout Southeast Louisiana for everyone to donate the clothes to. So now I have a place to send them to. The donations stay local for a local charity, Grant's Gift Foundation, for special needs families who need something, adaptive bikes. And then they get also, there's people are kind of lost interest again in giving in goodwill. They just lost faith in that. So now they have a place to put it, all these locations around. And again, it was now we're saving clothes too. So from being dumped out, but there's always a solution to it, and it's a viable solution. Those bins had gotten a bad name over the years, but the way they handle them, run them twice a week and making sure the charities got it and all doing what we do, it all works together hand in hand.
For sure it does. What's next, man, for the Cajun Navy? I mean, just trying to grow, trying to expand, really, like you said, needing more space.
Just gearing up for this year because weather patterns have changed. You guys just watched those 2 squall lines. They went across the entire United States like the front of a hurricane.
It's crazy to watch it. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, and then all the hurricanes that didn't come here. So we're like, I'm just ready for whatever. We've everything except fire. I do not fight fire. I will not go to fire. That's
you have
why I went to church.
I agree.
That's why I went to church, because I don't want to see fire. So that's the one I stay away from. You won't find me near a fire. But if we're on the outskirts and sending them, we'll send in help and aid and water and whatever else we can if they call out on us.
Yeah,
sure.
And I do think, and I've always said it in my personal life as well as on this podcast, it's like I would rather have to deal with a hurricane than a tornado. And when I say that, like Justin here, he's the tornado follower. He got the stats and tell you what it. And I've seen them. I've seen the devastation that those things can unleash, and it's just like, my God, in a split second, it's like it's there and it's gone. Your stuff is gone.
Yep.
It's incredible. So, but I don't want a hurricane or anything. I don't wish that upon anybody. I don't want anybody to think that I want that. But it's like I'd rather deal with that because I could prepare and say, hey, we're getting out of town. You get
a warning, ahead of time.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that Kentucky one, I responded to Kentucky was the last one I went out of state for. This is the one that up there in Kentucky, and man, I stood right in the middle of that and filmed right in there where an actual oak tree had been twisted all the way off and broke off like a toothpick. And man, it's an eerie feeling standing in there. You see houses that just were gone. They're gone. They've been lifted up. Their debris isn't even there. It just got taken away.
It's gone. Yeah, nothing but a slab or whatever it might be.
Downtown. Wow.
And how bad did you say it was in Illinois with the damage? How many
in
homes?
Illinois? Yeah, there's 300 homes. I think 300 homes destroyed, and
unbelievable.
That's all about a lake, right?
Yeah, it's Kankakee and Aroma. They're really hit hard, and they're on the outskirts. They don't have the thing is, a lot of times, like the response will be up here, and they'll bring stuff to the bigger areas, and we're there bringing it in and trucking it out to, even doing like Cajun DoorDash. I mean, we're bringing it out too once we get the lay of who's needing it every day, especially the elderly people and maybe the disabled veterans. But it's it always happens that these places off the offset, everything else gets functioning. They're just sitting there, and they don't have any resources. Even the stores and the businesses got destroyed where there would be resources coming in. So tornado doesn't play with it like a hurricane. It destroys it. I mean, even a Walmart will get taken out by a tornado.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've hid behind those many times through every hurricane I've been through on the other side and survived every time. But I don't think it would take a tornado.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh, man. Well, I will say, man, what you guys and girls do, man, it just embodies the classic Louisiana spirit of just neighbors helping neighbors, man. I love to hear it. We don't hear enough of that going on in the country. Like I said, I know it exists, but it's not what gets clicks nowadays.
Right.
So, you don't see a lot of that, man. And it's just good. That's why I wanted to get you on here, just to kind of, shine a positive light for one on Louisiana, and just let people know that there are still just great people, great organizations, and there is niceness still going on in this world. See, even this show, it's very news and politics driven. So we tend to go down that negative road ourselves just by following it so much. And it's nice to get out of it every now and then and just realize that it's not as bad as the media makes this country and this world out to be. There's good people in it. So, and you're
Absolutely.
definitely one of them, brother.
Well, I can't leave Tina out. She's the CFO and chief of logistics. She's down there in Galveston doing the other end. So we kind of triangulate.
Wow.
So she's down there. She's the one that's actually on I'm talking to her and a couple people, and she's down the line talking to the pastor. And so we just set up a line of communication each time. And it's just like any incident where anybody responds, any firefight or whatever, you got to get there, assess the damages, and know who to call on. And we've done it so long now, it's just second nature.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I for sure hope it goes on for just, decades, generations. I hope people take it over after we're long gone. Just keep this stuff going, man. It's amazing.
It's a good
love what y'all do.
Keep the vision alive. It's a vision.
Yeah. And what was the website again?
It's Louisiana CN, capital C, capital N, like Cajun Navy, .com.
Good. And that's
Beautiful.
where anybody can go that's watching, man. You want to help out at all, like you said, you can go there, check out everything they're doing and what they need. And that's not just with this disaster going on now. It's nonstop. So it sounds like you're involved in everyone you can get involved in. So that's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate
if they send us any monetary donations, it'll be going into trucks, gas, because right now that's the biggest expense right now is trucking stuff up there. I mean, it's costing it costs as much as to send a 26-foot truck as it used to cost to send a semi.
Yeah, the price of fuel, man, it's crazy right now. I can imagine that's a huge expense, man. And so, what do you y'all just? You don't get enough donations. Y'all just personally eat that expense, I guess.
United Cajun Navy, they've got events all year round where they're doing, they got sponsors and stuff. Sure. I've got my sponsors that that I call on if we need anything. We've actually got, like I said, Moffitt Services is a fuel. They come out and they make sure we have fuel in the field, and there's a big tank there full of fuel. So a lot of those things are covered. But when we're doing stuff like this, and we're just trucking stuff out and all, you got to have money to put in a gas tank. You can't put
it adds up.
Box of bananas or a box of diapers in there and make it work.
Well, you're getting a thank you in the chats here from someone saying y'all came out and helped with the North Carolina mountains flood.
Yeah, so, I was there. Well, I almost died out there. The dam broke, and I was stuck on a back road. That's on YouTube.
Come on.
And look under Louisiana Storm Patrol, Louisiana Cajun Navy, Louisiana Storm Patrol. You'll see I was on a back road. I passed 7 people up because it was the water was washing, the road was washing away. I couldn't stop, and I got stuck with a black trailer on a 2-lane road on the side of a road fixing to wash away, and had to back up 150 yards in the dark with it raining, jackknife it, turn around and rescue those 7 people on the way out that I passed up because God was knocking me in my head, said, well, you passed them up, now you got to go back. So I ended up on a big hilltop, and actually I had to call General Russell Honore, who I have his personal number, to send the National Guard to come rescue me and the 7 people that I had rescued. So I've been rescued too by the general who I admire so much.
Was that one of the hairiest situations you've been in doing
that?
This?
That and the driving on Lake I-10 for 45 minutes with my muffler underwater. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that could get a little sketchy for sure.
How do y'all handle a situation that large? Because with the Asheville floods, you had Asheville that was flooded. You had the panhandle of Florida that had just been hit by a major hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you had devastation from Florida all the way up through North Carolina.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't do. I don't jump from one to the other. A
Right.
lot of the guys will sometimes do that. If I'm embedded here and I've got things going like we had in North Carolina when Michael hit, another Cajun Navy, America's Cajun Navy, that at the time was in operation. They went down there, and he tried to go in before the storm. And he found out, like you said, tornado. He had 2x4 stuck in the side of his truck and everything by the time he got out of there. And when that all, it's really, I mean, we're spread too thin at that point. And United Cajun Navy, they have that territory down in Florida. They're very well embedded in there, so we kind of leave that to them, you know. And I was up in the Carolinas with also United Cajun Navy, and he just branched off and went on down. So I guess we concentrated here, and if something else happens, we just branch back off to the other ones and make decisions on the fly. Yeah, just
yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier, Justin, before you asked, just when you get spread too thin, like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but like you said, you try to concentrate in one area and then just, do what
focus
you can,
on the
I
one
guess.
that's been given to me. Cause
Right.
I just know my capacity at this point, just knowing your capacity and not try to, cause if you'll see a lot of pictures of me in there, I got IVs in my arms and I'm sitting there being, rehydrated because I don't know when to stop.
Well, you know what happens too, man, is you spread yourself too thin, dude, you got a chance of people getting hurt. And, because you don't have so there's all kind of variables in there. But yeah, you do a good job, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to tell people to donate to you, and I'm going to see what my company can do and help you out and keep it going, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
We need more
Spread
people
the
like
word,
you. That's all
for
I can
sure.
say, man. We need more people
Absolutely.
like you.
I appreciate
doubt,
that.
no
Well,
doubt.
Absolutely.
Brad mentioned just a second ago, as far as you get kind of focused on an area, you don't want people to get hurt. So I was also curious how you handle situations like the Texas floods last year, right? Where you've got a flood that wipes through, first responders come in, and then, I mean, days later, the same river floods again while you've got people that are set up trying to help, and then you've got water washing everything away while everybody's there,
Yeah, it gets hairy. That happened there. Nothing you could do but just regroup and count your losses. Rockport got hit kind of the worst. It was ground zero down from Houston, and we went down there, and that was very hairy because someone had dropped, 2 semis had been dropped off of donations, all shrink wrapped from Walmart. I mean, basically 2 Walmart deliveries outside. And when we showed up, they were about to start being loaded up by the nefarious cartels and people that were down there fixing to take it all away. And we literally had to walk around with long rifles and everything and guard that and stay live all night till the next day till we opened that up and got that in there. So people are, the biggest thing is we don't do now is tell everybody what we're doing until we're there and after we're doing it. So we don't set up any of the volunteers or anybody, tell them don't do any live videos, tell everybody where you're going because you're putting a target on you. If you're carrying all these valuables and all these donations somewhere, we'll make sure you make a safe arrival because we have an eye in the sky that tracks everybody. But don't do this. Don't set yourself up because there's people out there that are watching and they will. We've had loads intercepted. We've had truckloads of generators diverted because they thought they were talking to one of us, and those generators disappeared and they didn't come to any of the groups they were supposed to.
And that's something. Absolutely. The scammers never stop, dude. The scammers never stop, dude. It's unbelievable.
Evil is evil.
Yeah, when the storms come through down here, especially during Katrina, just these flyby people that would come and take down payments to repair your roof, so to say, and then never show up. I mean, it's amazing people can do that to other people that
capitalize them
like
when you're down, dude.
Yeah. Well, to come there and see the devastation and still take advantage from it's evil. There's no other way to explain it. That is just evil.
Well, I can tell you Illinois got that together because right now, if you're not permitted to be on that property or you haven't pre-permitted or whatever, it's not going down. I even posted that on our page and even sent it to a couple people that were wanting to go up there. I'm like, you don't just show up there. You're not cutting trees off of people's houses right now because insurance companies haven't come. And if you're messing yourself over, if you're stripping your house or you're cutting a tree off before the insurance assessment comes. So they're keeping anybody wanting to just come in and be good Samaritans and help. You really can't do that to be on their property. And now volunteers, it's different. And that's by case to case. But again, you're taking your own insurance evaluation in your own hands if you cut that tree off before they come and evaluate it.
Got you.
So,
All right. Anything else for Clyde before we let him go? I know he's got things to do besides sit here and yap with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man,
dude,
I appreciate you guys.
Clyde, thank you, Clyde, for coming. We would love to have you back as a group. We'd love to have you back. Report back to us how it's doing, and we'll see what we can do on our end for you. Absolutely, man.
Absolutely,
you're doing a good job, brother. Keep it up.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all this help.
Yeah, Clyde. I know we were trying to get together for a week or so now.
It's been a minute.
You've been so busy, so I'm glad.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I had a clear head and I had a full. This is the end of the week. We put 1 weekend. One of our guys left for the weekend, and it's kind of a pause, so I could and give you the full money on what we're doing and how we did it this time.
Well, that's awesome. Man.
Absolutely.
Look, you know it. I don't have to say it. You've heard it a million times, but y'all do an amazing job, and we appreciate what you do for sure, representing our state to the fullest. I love it. And till next time, Clyde, be good. We appreciate you coming, man, for sure.
Well, in the words of Matthew McConaughey, all right.
I love it. Later.
You guys,
good talking to you. Thank you, brother.
Cool. Yes,
Later,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
He's a good dude. Yeah, no, that's good. But it just shows you the when you start hearing about the scams and the fraud, just to see people's, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how do you take advantage of people that are in such need,
Exactly.
It's
prey
crazy,
on them like that.
But like you said, we saw it, man. We saw it down here. Once Katrina ripped through, man, they came quick, just ready to take $10,000 down payments on a roof and then never show up to do the job.
My grandma got one.
I forgot about that. How much did she get beat for?
$22,000.
$22,000. Somebody got his grandmother for.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Sad. It's crazy. It really is.
That's nuts, man. And it just kind of just reminds me of one of the things we were going to get into, which is this. Oh wait, Clyde's back.
Interesting.
I just was watching over here, and something happened. I was like, man, I want to watch the rest of the show. Hang on.
Oh, you want to stay on?
I'm hanging, man. Yeah, I'm here for a question. I'm gonna be look.
Oh, I didn't know if you were trying to go. You gonna hang on with us?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang with y'all, man.
Okay,
somebody might have a question. I don't want to be gone. Somebody have a question while you guys are I'm BSing with the guys, man.
Okay. Well, I want to be. Well, I don't know. Some people want to just get like as soon as they're done with their thing, they're ready to roll because we get into different things. I was about to get it because we were talking about, of course, the fraud that comes with your business that you're in, the people that do that. So then it just reminded me of everything that's being uncovered in California right now. And that's kind of what we were just going to get into. And I know it's crazy, man, because that stuff went down in Minnesota, of course, that Nick Shirley found. And all of a sudden he's back over there in Cali and starts uncovering even more mess, which a lot of people knew. I mean, this wasn't isolated to just Minnesota. But it just seems to be a nationwide issue with tax dollars, man. And it's crazy. I mean, here we are, busting our butts going to work every day and the government's forcing you to pay your fair share. So they want to say, and then they're just using it to do whatever they feel like doing. I mean, over there in California, I mean, they've got these, I don't know what it was. I guess it was like, these ghost facilities and hospice systems that there was no patients, but they were collecting, $170+ million.
$70 million. Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even the one that he was at, there wasn't even workers.
Wasn't even workers.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like how much more of this has to go on before, I mean, we got to all be tired of just paying into this system when it's just being millions, if not billions, just, pissed away basically. And it makes you, every year you file your taxes and you have to pay. It's like, okay, well, what's going on here? I mean, it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. It's crazy. And then you got, a little YouTuber like Nick Shirley out here, just a regular guy with a camera, out there and just exposing this kind of fraud when the government's basically just turning a blind eye to it. It's crazy. I mean, he's just out there knocking on doors and, trying to get some answers and uncovering a bunch of this fraud, man, into the billions. It's nuts, man. I don't know what to do to stop that, really, if you can.
And it really pisses you off, dude, when you sit back and you look at this, and it's like, dude, where's the government oversight on this? On all of it. Where's the government oversight on any of this?
There's no oversight when the money's
there
in our
is
pockets.
No, it's incredible because I read something where Dr. Oz has some like $35 billion scam in California, So we sit back and look at it, it's like, dude, I've always said that California will be 3 times bigger than Minnesota for sure, maybe 4 times bigger,
Oh, yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg for sure. Yeah, Dr. Oz now, he's leading the Medicare and Medicaid, has been blowing the whistle on like you said, $3.5 billion in hospice fraud epidemic there in Los Angeles County. That's in Los Angeles County. That's not even
one.
Yes, that's one county in the state. Yeah. I mean, sham companies, ghost patients, fake clinics popping up everywhere. Medicare billing exploded 7-fold in 5 years over there. I mean, and like you say, that's one county. Can you imagine what's going on around this country? You can't even put a price tag on it. It's crazy.
Well, now I know where all the money's going that we're not getting.
It should all be going to the Cajun Navy, man.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, let me ask you, Clyde, do y'all receive grants of any type or anything like that? Or y'all just work pretty much off of what y'all put up in, donations?
Well, to be honest with you, to be transparent, I'm $35,000 in the whole SBA for Ida that I borrowed from my company to keep it running.
God damn.
And I put all that in. I put all that into the field to make sure everybody had everything they needed. So, I'm working with some
patriot.
I'm trying. Thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Captain America was my favorite character in the beginning. I'm working with some grant writers right now. I just brought on my pastor of 25 years. He's one of those real dudes. He's not one of those churchy dudes. I mean, he's his ex-sheriff and ex-50 gunner in the Air Force. So he's a real guy. And so I'm partnering up with them, kind of rearranging my board and getting to where we're going to seek some grants and just go for that, going forward, because I just got a building up there up in Franklin, which we just had some tornadoes that broke out up there. So it's perfect timing for all of this, the way it's happening. God's just kind of leading. But that's the main thing, is just getting the places, getting the spots, and getting to where we can receive.
And you should receive grants, absolutely, because it seems like you run. It seems like you run a legit company and you're helping people. And just back to that, Shane, it's like, God, I mean, dude, if we could not spend $170 million in bullshit, we could help.
I was just sitting there thinking
ground level people like this guy,
Right. You've got an organization like the Louisiana Cajun Navy that struggles to find funding, but yet there's $3.5 billion in hospice fraud going on in one county in Los Angeles. Do you know what the people like the Cajun Navy could do with just a portion of that? For good, it's disgusting. The more you start reading these numbers, and then you see people with organizations like Clyde has just trying to make it, when you're out there just trying to help people. And I don't know, man, I just think it's so far gone. I don't know how you end it, because the ones that would have to end it benefit from it. The government.
Exactly.
Well, how much of a of a donation is tax deductible? Like if I know I'm going to owe $2,000 at the end of this year, right? How much would I have to donate to not give the government any of it?
You'd have to ask. You'd have to ask my tax people. Do that. All I know is I take it. How much can I spend?
Justin, it would be dependent upon what you pay in taxes. So if say you're paying 17%, 22%, that's about what you could deduct off of your donations, is how that goes, So,
and then over the years, I haven't had ever. I mean, when I started out, I said, look, guys, if you're looking for me as a tax shelter or somebody, if you donate to me, listen, send $1, send $10, send to every bit helps. When I was doing what I was doing. I sold my T-shirts. I had orange, I sold T-shirts, took that money and put it in. Everything that we generated it, and everybody, I never thought in a million years everybody would want to wear a black and orange shirt, because I always told everybody, I don't look good in black and orange. I ain't going to do nothing wrong. And so I ended up in black and orange shirts and selling them by the hundreds and putting that money back in. So, it's raising the merchandise, doing the things that Todd does. He's on another level with sponsors. He's got the Hondo Fishers that he just took out the other night, and he's doing this big thing this next weekend, so with the rodeo. So they do all that, sponsor all that bigger stuff. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm just trying to just be ready when someone needs us and have the funds to be able to deploy and go up and set up a pod and get the community working together and stay as long as we need to be.
Well, you'd have the funds if they give you some of this fraud money.
Absolutely.
As much as you need.
We got a new administration. I don't know. I mean, maybe we got another chance. In the beginning, he mentioned us, and then he wasn't the president anymore for a while. And I got offered to go to the White House, and I was one of the first ones. I turned it down because I don't put politics on my page, and I thought that if I put a picture of me and Donald Trump on my page, I was going to lose half my following because I'm not about politics. It doesn't matter who the president is. I'm still coming. It doesn't matter if you're a Democratic or a Republican. I'm still going to feed you,
regardless of what you.
So one of the other guys fell for it, and when they put that picture on their page, they lost half their following. I got it. So
man, it's funny you say that because we were talking about that yesterday. I think it was me and you, Brad, where it's like it doesn't matter what you do or how good you're doing for society or helping people in need. When it comes to politics, people will try to cancel you and write you off just because you're standing next to a president they don't agree with. And that's on both sides. Yes. I'm not just picking on one side. It's both sides. That's how divided we are when it comes to these politics, that an organization like yours would catch backlash from half of the country because you stood next to a certain president. And like I said, that you could be standing next to Obama and the right's going to come after you. Yes, it's amazing. People can't put these politics to the side for just a second and say, well, it doesn't matter who he's taking a picture with. The guy does a great thing. But that's just not how it is for the most part nowadays. It's crazy.
And I don't need their affirmation, man. I got his affirmation, and I got sent out here in the field to do this. In 2005, my son passed away 3 months before Katrina. So I was kind of like catapulted into this, and I just said, you know what? This is, I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to I guess been on this saving mission since I couldn't rescue my son. I've been rescuing everybody else, but it's just my heart bleeds for the people, and I want to make sure, because I watched all the stuff that came in for Katrina, and I watched it all get put in a building, and it never got distributed out. And I felt this righteous indignation to go out and make sure that the people get their donations straight to them, not have to go through a bunch of red tape, because that's crucial that they get those supplies right after. A lot of people die after the hurricane from dehydration, from lack of food, from lack of insulin, from lack of treatment,
medicines,
everything, so you lose more lives afterwards without a quick response.
Well, I think y'all could have handled the Katrina response better than the government. I mean, it was nuts. Now, granted, it was just something that I think nobody was prepared for when them levees broke over there in New Orleans. I mean, everybody thought the storm was going to come, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, the whole city's underwater. And it just seemed like it took forever to get those people out of there. I mean, I know personally, a friend of the show that's a police officer that was over there. And just the stories he tells me, just heart-wrenching, man. People on roofs begging, and you can only rescue so many. So you got to leave that area with people screaming, like, help me, I'm going to drown. And you've got a boat full already. And I'm like, I couldn't fathom that, man. It's nuts.
The PTSD of it would be too much, dude. Yeah. Absolutely.
I did want to ask you, during Ida down here, locally, Waffle House was like one of the first food places that was like had a trailer set. Is that a common thing?
Always. Waffle House, the first place that opens, and I'm there getting those breakfast bowls for my guys. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Waffle House and Walmart. They're the first two to open up. That's why I'm right there by them.
Yeah, because when I was doing some work helping gut houses in Baton Rouge when it flooded a few years back, that was the first one. It was Waffle House was out there, and they were giving away free breakfast every morning. We go and, it was giving out breakfast. And out here, same thing for Ida. They were set up in the parking lot, couldn't even get in the building, but they had a trailer out there, and they was giving out waffles.
Yeah, we were down
Clyde,
there.
Clyde, y'all get a lot from the big corporations, I guess I should say, if it's the Walmarts or the Targets. Do they help out a lot? Do they step up in the communities and help out their communities if it's here, like Katrina did. They do.
Well, like in Ida, I would go by. I was taking all their bread because we were cooking 4,000 pounds of chicken and stuff. I was just wiping out there, and they would stock it back up or take me to the back and give me everything that I needed. So yeah, they're absolutely amazing. Walmart's a big contributor. They always let us set up, especially letting us set up right by them, and then they start stocking up immediately. They get open, and we have access to stuff we need to cook.
Right. Awesome.
Well, I think as we stated, if they could just cut out a portion of this fraud and just give it to organizations like yourself, because I'm going through some of these stats earlier. And, California just seems to be the tip of the iceberg. I mean, the pattern is crystal clear. It's, not to pick on one side, but it seems to be these Democrat-run areas with endless big government handouts, these lax rules, and just, one-party rule for decades, basically. No competition, no accountability. It's just fraud on steroids. I mean, you take California's own Employment Development Department, they call it. They lost an estimated $20 billion in unemployment fraud. That's $20 billion of people's hard-earned money stolen by scammers using stolen identities. Dead people filing claims, prisoners collecting checks from jail, just international crime rings. I mean, the state admitted it. They clawed back a little bit, but, the rest of the money is just gone. And then, you got over there in New York, that's another Democrat fortress over there. I mean, they racked up $11 billion in improper unemployment payments in the first year of COVID alone. Billions vanished. And, I mean, it's just nonstop. I mean, we all know the story in Minnesota. There's no need to go over that. But Chicago, there's another one. In Illinois, another blue machine. Multiple Medicaid fraud rings busted, doctors and networks billing Medicare for fake services, ghost patients, you name it, $21 million there, millions more here. It just doesn't stop, man. The whole PPP scams, it's just a revolving door of waste. And it just seems like that money could be getting used for such better things, man. And
absolutely.
And I hate,
100%.
like I said, I don't want to sit here and pick on one side because it's not like fraud is zero in red states. It's a national problem, driven by program design, just especially the rapid COVID spending and just criminal opportunities, that these criminals are taking. But the difference is these conservative governors in places like Texas and Florida, they often highlight their proactive crackdowns. Like they get on top of it. I mean, you had, Abbott over there. He was directing probes as soon as the Minnesota scandals broke. He was ready.
Right.
Well, we got to look into this. That's proof that these Republican, governors it means better oversight. It's faster clawbacks and less tolerance for waste. And if we could just get some of that in these blue states, I think it could save taxpayers billions and billions of dollars that can be used in better places. I mean, it seems simple.
Yeah,
dude, I agree
seems
with
simple,
you.
but
then there's the red tape.
True.
That's what
doctors gotta eat, bro.
I got big red tape scissors.
Yeah, something's got to happen because I mean, it's just crazy when you watch what went on over there in Minnesota. Now you're seeing it in California, and it's like, where does this end? And yet we all have to sit down every year and file these taxes, man. And it really just pisses me off when I owe the government money for them to just give away to these fraudulent entities that are being popped up. And it's not like the government doesn't know what's going on in these states. That's what makes it even worse. It's happening right under their nose, and they know it. And nobody's being held accountable. I seen somebody in the chats asking, well, where's the arrest? I mean, who's being held accountable for this? Nobody.
You've seen none.
None.
Well, that's why I was asking about donations and tax write-offs, because I'd rather donate it somewhere that's going to do something decent with it than to, give it to the government that's going to, do what they do.
And look, I believe in my heart,
Government
brother,
shit.
if we paid less taxes, more people would probably donate, because most of us, and even on this panel and myself and people around, my circle of friends, dude, we have no problem donating to the cause. We really don't, if it means to help somebody. But dude, to pay taxes, and then you got to, I mean, what was it? 8 months ago, FEMA, we're broke. We can't help nobody in North Carolina. What were they giving? Checks for $50, $700, whatever it might have been. I don't know the correct, but it's like, here's a government organization that we pump probably billions into every year, and they're not there. I mean, it seems like Katrina changed all that, but yeah, it's crazy. It is. It's totally nuts.
Yeah, they started playing nice with us, and they kind of, on our website, you'll see a video they made actually and put on their website about, us coming down and them working with us and stuff. And United Cajun Navy has kind of come alongside them. So yeah, they're coming alongside us and playing nice and trying to, I guess, give us resources that they don't have. I don't understand all that. So I'm going to understand I don't want to join up with FEMA. I didn't come out here to be FEMA. If I'm going to be anything, we'll be SEMA. We'll be the Cajun Emergency Management Agency, and just they can have that F and take it back, because that's what they deserve for their grade. And and just obviously civilian-led task force and all this works better. So why would you have a government agency that doesn't respond and only gives $700?
Yeah, there definitely is no excuse for a government agency to come through with money like $700 when you look at the amount, again, of fraud that's being.
It's a slap in the face.
There's more than enough money to go in these areas and spend whatever it takes to help these people and get these places rebuilt. Money is no longer an excuse after we're seeing what's being uncovered with this fraud and this waste of our tax dollars. If they ever talk about not having the funds, that should be criminal, because it's just a blatant lie by the government after stealing your tax dollars. They cannot use it as an excuse anymore. It's ridiculous, but they will. I know when when you sit and look at it too, man. It's like after these disasters hit, you're the one, Clyde, that are in there giving stuff, helping people, if it's cutting trees or whatever y'all are doing, man, in there. And it's like, well, FEMA's mobilizing. They're going to be here. We got to get the Army. It takes 3 or 4 days. Y'all are in there. Y'all are donating. People are giving stuff. It's just, and that's what's probably saving lives. Because if you had to depend upon FEMA, you'd be shit out of luck, to be honest with you. If you had to wait all.
I've actually marched an entire hotel of people into the FEMA office next door, because they were sitting there wondering what's going on and what the case was. And I just, follow me. I brought them donuts and coffee, nothing better to get them all good and wired up, and brought them next door. And all these people were standing out on the front porch doing nothing. And here comes Clyde with a whole bunch of evacuees and people like wanting answers. And so when they set up, I pushed on them for a couple of times. They had a guy who had gotten he was flooded in the trailer parks and whoever was in Baton Rouge. And they said that it didn't look like his house had flooded. I'm like, well, what happened here? A 500,000 gallon of his fish tank broke or something? They literally denied the guy. So I had to go fight for him, but we fought him and brought him. But they're going to deny everybody. That's what they do. But and they tell you can't appeal, but you can appeal forever.
Exactly.
It's just they just don't have it. Their job is, including with the floodplain manager that worked with us, he said his job was to go out there and to give you the least amount of money as possible.
And what they gave us down here for Katrina, cancer trailers.
Oh, they turn neighborhoods into trailer parks. They put the trailers, make you put the trailer in front of your house.
Yep.
Nice. I remember that with the FEMA campers, where I guess the formaldehyde or whatever, it was so strong, like your eyes were burning when you were sitting in these things. It was terrible. Now, their excuse was that they were just building them so fast and getting them out that, I guess chemicals weren't drying or whatever they were saying. But I do remember that. I didn't live in one, but I knew people that did, and I'd go over there to visit, and I'm like, good God, how do y'all stay in here? This is terrible. So that's what we got down here.
We stayed in one for almost a year.
Yeah, well.
There's a whole trailer park here. They were different. They were like, this was like the first batch of trailers that came in Hammond. There was, I think, 60 of them that came in here, and then they did the one over in Baker, which was the smaller chop kind of ones, and those were the ones that had a lot of formaldehyde and the smell. And then they took the rest of them and parked them out at, I think, forever, set in a big field forever until they got rid of them. But they couldn't put them out anymore, and that's where it ended. Then they moved on to the next storm. Well, Rita came too, so.
Yep. We'll give a little shout out. CSR, I see you in the comments, buddy. Glad you could join us tonight. Matt, saw you too. We didn't mean to ignore y'all. We just been talking to Clyde here. He's a lot more interested than y'all, so bear with us. But anyway, yeah. Well, you had mentioned the red tape too, and I was just, FEMA, it operates within I guess a complex federal system. So they want to say where it must coordinate with state and local governments, follow strict rules for funding, and I guess avoid overstepping authorities. But to me, a lot of that should just look in those disasters to get rid of all that trash for a minute, let them come in and do what they have to do. And I don't think it's all to blame. You also have people that work at somewhere like FEMA that, let's face it, they're just there to make their time and get through the day. And they don't care. Like for somebody like you that sacrifices to actually go do this, that's a different approach. You're going out there to actually help. I've seen the FEMA people when they're walking around like they just don't even feel like being out there. It just seems like it's two totally different attitudes, and maybe they get sick of the red tape too. Maybe they're just fed up, the employees or whatever with FEMA. I don't want to judge all of them, but it just seems like anything government run is not going to be efficient. And it's always hidden behind some sort of, bureaucracy, some red tape, some paperwork that they're waiting on. It's ridiculous. There's a better system, and they could simplify that overnight if they wanted to.
Well, I've got a retired DEA agent that joined up with us back in 2020. And his whole reason was he's like, man, they won't deploy us. And I'm retiring now, and I want to come down there and go with you guys. So I'm like, come on. And he was down there helping us. He was one of the ones that helped us clear the I-10 down there where we're all sitting out there. I didn't even know I was clearing I-10. I'd made my way there, and we cleared a bunch of trees for a ways. And all of a sudden, the highway opened up that had been closed for 8 hours. So I was like, why don't y'all tell me we're clearing I-10? So, but we get all sorts of people that are already professionally trained. When you're asking about the training, people are pretty much trained that we bring on and have prior experience. They're all looking to keep on doing, plugging in, doing what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, who could provide a lot of help to you guys? The aliens. Okay. What do you think about aliens, Clyde? Are they with us?
Well, so far they haven't been against us. And I really think, honestly, if everybody knew for a fact that there was an alien and the government knows this, you stop thinking about authority and you start thinking about the higher power that's more advanced above you. It kind of starts turning things into chaos and confusion and widespread panic.
I was going to ask that. Do you think that the typical, just, the American public could handle that news if they were just to come out and say,
not if it was validated and you saw
God,
it?
I could, dude. I'm waiting on it.
There's some people out there, their minds would melt, They still have, they're still zombified from everything else.
Well, and then Trump keeps teasing, because I seen, of course, the government registered that Aliens.gov, what do you call it? Not the website, but the handle or whatever. And I'm thinking, for what? Why did they do that? Because this is on, after he sits there and talks about just basically, disclosing everything that they have on these aliens or UFOs or whatever. And then now they start making these aliens.gov websites. And I'm thinking, what is going on here?
It's a setup, man. It's another distraction. Come on, we can do drones in the skies and make it look like, like a fireworks display. Don't tell me they
don't kill my dream, Clyde.
Look, dude, I think they have. We have drones. We've seen them. The ones that can bomb, the ones that we play with. You're gonna tell me they don't have one shaped exactly like a flying saucer that can fly up there and make us all think that?
So the only thing that gets me sometimes is when you start listening to these Navy pilots that don't understand how these things that they're tracking are moving like they're moving.
The speed,
just the hard right angles that they're making at the speeds that they're doing. Now, they could be lying, but I mean, a lot of these guys are credible, Navy pilots and people that have really no reason to get up there and just start blatantly lying about all this. And there's actually video that they've released, the government has released, where you see those little figures moving. And like I said, it's just at rates that they can't explain. Not to say nobody has that technology, but I know the guys seeing it, the pilots can't explain how they're defying gravity. So it just gets my mind spinning. And like I said, Trump's not helping because he keeps talking about it. So.
Well, if they're that far advanced and they've been able to capture a force and be able to travel at a speed that's not the same inside the vehicle, because no physical body or even can handle that type of speed. So inside of that, whatever, because I believe long ago the pyramids and all that stuff is still a whole nother thing. But I mean, vibration, we can move things with vibrations. How do we know what's lost art, that how they were able to move things? Because we know they didn't move those stones with thousands of people. Something else happened.
See, you're
so it's vibrational frequencies and stuff that we're not even tuned to. And I mean, I have questions about airplanes. Where do you put 60,000 gallons of fluid? Well, they say they're in the wing and it's up in the tail. And I'm like, I've seen what a silo of 60,000 gallons of fuel looks like. And I'm still asking, where do you put that in?
Ooh,
and when a plane hits the side of a building that just took off and it hits one of the buildings in 9/11 and it blows up, that didn't look like 60,000 gallons of fuel blowing up.
Stop it, Clyde. Stop. You're going to get Brad started.
And it certainly did not melt steel, because it's airplane fuel. I know. It's automatic combustion. It's gone, so. Exactly. I'm one of the guys that don't sell me that BS. Go somewhere else.
Dang,
towers don't drop straight down like that and have cut. I'm sorry. I ain't buying. And people get shot with a 223. Don't see their head. So that's where I'm at with everything. I started squaring. Prove me wrong, and then I'll go forward and believe all the other bull. The rest of the grand illusion, as Styx would call it.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny too, because it starts. You mentioned it as far back as the whole pyramid, and some people just like to simplify it, like, well, it was just a bunch of slaves, and it's like, man, not if you really look at the precision and just the mass of these stones that had to be just precisely placed and everything. When you really start looking into it, it's like there's no way they did that by just brute force.
Can we do it today? Can we do it today?
We can't replicate.
Can Elon Musk, with all of his money, can he fly to the moon?
Right. So what people get caught up in is they like to judge it by the technology that they know of today, but there's no telling what technology path they went down that got lost in all of this.
Right.
I mean,
because they're built perfectly in harmony, and I know it's all connected. We're all connected. We're supposed to connect. I mean, the moon changes the tide. It's all connected. So they harness forces, and they knew stuff that we didn't know. It's lost and forgotten. It's just not there. We're a technological world, and this is what we think we're so advanced when they were more advanced, obviously, because we can't build a pyramid today.
Sure. Yeah, we went down different paths, when it came to this technology. It's almost like civilization may have gotten wiped out at some point. It started over, and like you said, we decided to go down a certain path where we're big on all this tech stuff, and they were doing something else that we just can't fathom right now, is how I look at it.
Nikola Tesla was onto it. He was tapping into the ground. He was tapping into electricity, and that's when Edison and all them just stole his stuff, and he was found dead in a hotel. So, I mean, all of his technology got taken. He was tapping into that stuff from old,
right.
And that's, if it's something that they can sell, they're going to steal it from you. If a guy created how to make a car out of water tomorrow, he better not tell nobody how to drive, because he's going to be dead the next day.
They won't let that. I think they had a story somewhat similar to that, that a guy was supposedly figuring that out, and he's no longer with us. But I'm with you, man. I think it's much bigger when it comes to those pyramids and stuff. Now, you really got me with the 9/11.
Well, I mean, I just know physics, and physically you cannot. I mean, first of all, I know how controlled demolitions look, and there's just too much evidence that there were framework that was sliced and actually still molten, and that's thermite. Exactly. You wrap it with thermite, and they are. It's just like a fuse for most people know what thermite is. If you don't,
it's a systematic.
It's a fuse. It's
explosion.
Like a fuse.
Yeah.
But and it wraps and it cuts through like butter, and each one that goes off, and both two towers falling at just. Identical, perfect, and then the building right next door that didn't get hit.
Yeah.
And then my biggest question, I'm gonna leave you with this, is what is the most heavily guarded building that has cameras all around it that got hit that day too?
The Pentagon.
Yeah, and they didn't have one. They had a flash of something that hit it. I didn't see any plane wreckage or anything, and some people picking up some stuff. It happened so fast. An airplane, they've said, even Jesse Ventura proved that they couldn't land it. But wouldn't you have some kind of footage of that plane at some kind of angle?
You should.
I mean,
at that place,
today,
of course.
Today we would, because everybody had been up there with their phones. Boy, they'd have got it all. But man, and so when they say that was a missile, I'm like, well, that's what missile looks like when it hits something. So
well, and that's a lot of people. As far as the towers coming down and not being just solely because of those airplanes, it starts to look like some sort of false flag. Just an excuse for us to go do what we did after that.
Go to war. Big money.
And it happens a lot. We've done it before in this country. Making up reasons to go to war, but. Yeah, I never heard from the aspect of planes not holding as much fuel as they claim. I mean, I don't have any experience with it. I don't know. It just but the question makes sense for sure. It's intriguing, and it was just funny because Brad's big with that stuff, with not really thinking 9/11 happened exactly how they tell us. So when you said that, I'm like, oh shit, we got one.
Absolutely.
Well, they've got me question things now, because like in NASA has a page out on flight aviation, and the plane was designed to fly over a flat Earth. It's like, wait a minute, a flat Earth? And when a plane now my question is this, and this is, I just watched Top Gun again. When he's going Mach 5, 6, and 7, shouldn't he have his steering wheel heard all the way down so he doesn't fly off the Earth?
I actually heard someone talking about that. They said that
literally he would be having to be like nosediving the whole time, right? So
it depends. I don't know enough about it, but
I'm confused enough that I'm gonna question it now. So
supposedly the pilot said that they, autopilot takes care of that, where it's keeping them a certain distance from the ground the entire time.
So it keeps them on the curve.
That's what I heard. As far as them explaining that off. But what do I know? Never been in a plane, especially.
I keep saying it's flat. It's a sphere. It's flat. I mean, read
Well,
Genesis,
I just want to know why we can't go to Antarctica. Why can't? If I want to risk my life, let me go.
Supposedly you can.
Oh, you can go to certain places.
Yeah, they say that they don't want you to because they're not coming to get your ass if something happens.
Well, they don't want you on Mount Everest, but people climb it every day and die up there sometimes. So
good point. Yep.
They don't stop nobody on the night.
Look, I'm trying to make sense of this, Clyde.
But I'm the guy that's listen.
I love it, man.
No BS. Like I love BSing with y'all, but when it comes to BS, I'm a repellent. Like, well, no.
I like it, man. I like it.
Dude, we've been lied to our whole life, dude. Our whole life
absolutely.
We've been lied to.
We've been indoctrinated. I'm relearning everything.
Absolutely.
I forgot everything I learned in school, and I'm relearning it all. That's what I'm doing.
Well, that's what
so true.
Eric in the chats was kind of going off of your point. There's over 1,000 cameras on the Pentagon at all times, and no footage of any plane hitting the Pentagon. I mean, and it's true. You figured it. Look, they want to prove that to the American people and say, look, here it is.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Nowadays they could just AI something, but back then, there was.
Question. Got a question for the panel.
Go ahead.
Okay. Suddenly, all of the space, the moon landing and all that stuff disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Anybody ask why? Why that? Because AI can now detect what is real and what is fake.
That's a good point. You can run that through AI.
Right, man.
Dude, that was so filmed in a Hollywood basement, dude. That is so, we've never been to the moon, bro. I can promise you.
No, and I want to know something. When I've watched the video too many times, that it took all that fuel and everything to get it over there, but a little spark in the pod just took off from the moon. And I want to know who went and got back and got that video of that pod taking off with everybody in it, because there's a video of it. How'd they get that video? I'm a photographer. I want to know who got the video. How you get all those clear pictures with nobody adjusting? Because back then I couldn't take a good clear picture. Not without adjusting stuff. So with gloves on, and y'all had automatic. Y'all had better cameras than we do now. Absolutely. I mean, it's just the footage and all the stuff is just it's not real.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Moon. It just doesn't add up at all.
No. Like I said, we've been lied to our whole life, dude.
Sure.
Just one more thing right there, the moon landing.
Well, we had that major space race going on, and they just wanted to. Hey, we made it. We made it. And then they decide we're never going to go back. And that's not like the United States. When they can get somewhere, they're taking over that shit. Like, that's our moon now. You know?
Right. Yeah. Trump would be like, okay, we're going back to the moon. We're going to make it a beautiful moon. It's going to make a beautiful place. We're going to put our flag there and no taxes for everybody that goes and lives on the moon. Right?
We're going to drill for oil on the moon. Yeah, we're going to do it all.
We're going to drill. It's going to be a beautiful moon. We're going to even paint something beautiful on the moon. It's going to be for everybody.
Well, it's like Brad was saying, it's just you start to uncover lie after lie, and then now you really start questioning everything that you ever been told. I mean, and some people call you crazy, like with the whole flat Earth thing. I'm not a believer yet. I just don't know the reason why they would lie.
Yeah,
I haven't heard a good reason, right? But at the same time, do I put it past them? Not at all. I mean, because you see. The more you dig into this stuff and start paying attention, you see what this government's been doing for decades, and the lies and, you know, the false flags to drive us into places we don't need to be in. And it's whatever it takes to just continue gaining power, control, fortune, and they'll do it by any means necessary. And you see it. It's happening daily. So I question
mind
it
control.
all, you know.
It's all about mind control.
It has been forever. I mean, that's
absolutely.
I mean, everyone wonders like where drugs came from. LSD, that came from the CIA. They used that stuff and experimented and introduced it into the hippies. And there's, you know, and let's see what happens, you know.
Yeah,
and it didn't make them all unhappy. It made them all happy. Like, well, that didn't work. We need let's give them alcohol, lots of that. Then we got
were talking about that the last episode, the whole MK Ultra thing that they did, where they were purposely trying to see if they can control people's minds with these drugs, and they get caught doing it, so they can't lie. Oh no, we didn't do it. I mean, these are things they got caught doing. You know, so it's not just conspiracy
and stuff out there about it. So,
it's nuts, man. And we got into the whole Tuskegee down there where they were infecting those black men with syphilis and allowing them to live with it for decades just to see what it would do to them. I mean, that's sick. You know, it's sick to watch what this government will do. And so to say that they wouldn't lie about going to the moon, I mean,
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's fun to go down those rabbit holes, man. And it just seems like, you know, the point you brought up as far as AI being able to scan these videos now, I never thought about that, man.
Oh yeah. They're trashing stuff. They're trashing stuff because now the proof can come out, you know?
Yeah. That's so awesome. So anyway,
things that make you go,
Yes, definitely. What's going on in the chats? What we got going on? Matt, what's going on, Matt? Well, they don't let us test the animals no more. They got tested on us then. Yeah, you're right. What somebody said. Let's see. CIA sold drugs in L.A. for Iran-Contra. That's true. That's very true. The CIA got caught. Yeah, the guy, that whole guy, what's his name? Freeway Ricky Ross or something. He was making millions of dollars selling drugs unknowingly for the CIA. And when they were done with his ass, they imprisoned him. They charged him for being a drug dealer. And, you know, he wound up getting out or whatever. I think he got educated in prison, wound up being a lawyer and, you know, got himself out of prison. But the CIA used him up, made as much money as they could to fund one of their little adventures they were on overseas. And then when they were done with him, oh, we heard you've been drug trafficking. You know, it's like, what about
sick Barry Seals.
Barry Seals, man. A native, dude. Yeah,
native Louisiana.
Yeah.
I think Tom Cruise played him in a movie, American Made or something. It was
very good movie. Yeah, absolutely.
It was.
Yeah, Barry Seals was doing the same thing. He got just shoved into doing it. He had more money than what to do it, and they're like just kept him going.
Yeah, that's true. This one wants to know who did 9/11. That's what Eric wants to know. Who did it? Well, it seems like we did it. The question is you know, why, or at least we let it happen. I don't know, man. There's so many theories that you could take that so many ways, because some people don't even believe that the towers were hit, for one. And I'm thinking, well, I think that's a little too far, because the towers did come down.
Well, people saw the plane. There was my sister was there in New York, so that a lot of people saying, "Oh, that was them filming it and all." No, they were hit by two planes.
Yeah. So the question's more of, was it really what they said, just a rogue attack by some terrorists? You know, and then it goes to what you were saying, just the whole the physics of these buildings coming down. And when you watch certain videos and slow them down, I mean, it looks like explosions were going off. It really does.
Right. And when they try too hard to prove something like, we found his ID down here on the ground. I mean, literally the plane blew up with everybody in it, but you found one of the pilot's ID on the ground down here. Sure. That's just too convenient.
Just happened to survive all of that wreckage. Yeah.
Yeah, we just happened
all the fire. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
In 33 hours, we just happened to catch the guy who jumped on the building and took a gun apart. You know, some of the stories like, man, listen, I know weapons, and I know that you can't take a gun like that apart and leave the screwdriver and then put it back together and all that.
Put it back together.
And that's all. If that's your story, then you got bamboozled. You got bamboozled.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, what are you? Not that you know, but if you were guessing, you think that the kid had anything to do with it, or I mean,
he was just like the other kid, man. He thought he was going to have something to do with it.
Right.
I don't know what happened from there, but I do know this, and I think everybody on the panel and any of you guys I'm sure you all carry weapons and shot a weapon. There's no way Charlie Kirk got shot in the throat with a .223.
No, that was such an odd
or 30-06, whatever round they're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No way.
I agree.
No way. And there was too many people, and I've slowed the framing down and watched it too many times. You can watch everyone's reaction, and then you can almost see the players because they go a different direction. They go in and they start grabbing things, and like that footage from behind him never appeared. And that camera always, if you look at all of his past, always had that footage because they use that footage to show how big the crowd is. And well, that footage from him being shot, that they grabbed that card, they grabbed that camera. When have you ever seen a crime scene covered so fast? I mean, it's just they were covering it up. You have a hall 6 days already, a hall that booked 6 months ago to have an event, and you know it's just like it all too looks like a lot of people believe he's alive. I mean, I think they did him. I mean, I think that lapel mic.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The same thing that they say that the driver used, the same type of weapon that the driver used in Kennedy. It's just a compression weapon. I mean, all he has to do is shoot anything out of it, a repellent, and something punctured his neck, obviously. And the puff of it showed enough that something percussion happened right here. Poof.
And it's all the whole thing with the story of there was no exit wound, and then the coroner saying that, you know, his bones were just so dense. I mean, you know, we've never seen anything like that.
They never released the fragments.
Like, what?
Yeah,
like,
the bullet. Yeah. They never showed the fragments of that bullet. They won't. They have not showed that. Released an autopsy report. If you're being transparent, you release all those things. If you're not, if something's hidden, then you don't. And so they haven't. So I'm going to be suspicious that.
Well, what did they have against Charlie Kirk? I mean, was he just making too big of a movement? I mean,
he was pulling out. He was pulling out of supporting Israel and taking funds from them, and that was he saw. They were already threatening him. He would already sent several messages to people like he felt like he was going to be killed because he knew what he was doing. He was pulling out, and you know the rest of the machine, his machine that he built, and everything that was going on, that couldn't go on without Charlie Kirk if Charlie Kirk was still there because he was trying to turn a different direction. So they had to take him out and replace him with the next leader.
Well, a lot of people think that's what's got us in this little skirmish with Iran is Israel. You know, I mean, just how hell bent we are back in Israel, no matter what, you know, and I don't know what all goes in with that. I don't know what's behind that, but it seems to be true that we're, you know, almost more pro-Israel than we are pro-America sometimes.
Right.
And, you know, there's a lot of talk going on about that's what got us over there. And that's what made Trump act so quick is to basically just help Israel out, you know? So, and I've heard that one about, like you said, with Charlie Kirk, you know, being involved in that too. And it always seems to tie back to Israel somehow. And
arguments with donors. And he was changing direction. He was starting to say, you know, he was leading the campuses. He was dangerous. He could have very well became the next president. Yeah, he was on that road because he had the youth. He had the next generation that's going to be voting on his side.
Yeah. Right. No, that's so true.
Yeah, really sad true. Shit, you know? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was trying to see. I seen somebody commenting about, You have no, what is this one here? You have no idea how the CIA went rogue numerous times defying executive orders. Yeah, I had an idea because the CIA doesn't answer to anybody is the thing.
Nobody.
You know, they don't answer.
Dude, they have a limitless operating budget, dude. Yeah, they don't talk to anybody, dude. They do
you
exactly
ever seen
what
anybody
they want
from
to
the
do.
CIA in front of Congress getting grilled? You know,
No.
it just doesn't happen.
Right.
No.
So I believe it, man. They are deep. I don't want no part of them boys.
Well, the Donald with Trump and what almost happened to Trump, same day that they had disconnection of communication. That never happens. Secret Service is always in contact with everything. They're on one channel where they're all on the same page. And that man was up on that building 15 minutes before Trump even walked out. They should have never let him walk out because if they'd have been not disconnected and they all said, yeah, we didn't have that meeting that morning. So they deliberately weren't in contact with him. And I think that the only reason Trump's here today is because he looked at a chart.
Oh, that's so crazy, huh?
Because that kid did not, that round that kid fired off or whatever, the first one and then two more shots, those were compressed rifle, sniper rifle. I mean, you hear it all day. And the first one clipped him. That was temple shot. That was a temple shot.
Oh, it's so crazy how you just happened.
And we were supposed to watch what we saw with Charlie Kirk. We were supposed to watch that live with Donald Trump. That would have just that'll squash the nation, right?
And that's why I told everybody that even if love or hate the man, for him to continue after that, because I'd have been like, I'm good.
I'm out. I'm done, dude.
See you in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take my $9 billion and go relax, dude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, that whole story's crazy. Even when the Secret Service lady was out there saying that the roof was too sloped for them, it's like, come on, man.
Total bullshit.
The whole thing.
There was 3 snipers in a room in the building that was staggered right here. That's a direct sight line. There was 3 guys in there, and they were not. They even said that they weren't of like they didn't have any identifying like Secret Service or whatever. And all they were just GI Joe, right? And they were there for some reason, and that's a direct line to where. So I believe one of those shots or 2 of those shots were by a professional, and that the kid was up there just to fire off a couple rounds and get popped and told.
Yeah, because they got rid of him fast.
He didn't. I mean, that kid didn't go get no AR-15 and miss Donald Trump by a centimeter first shot. No way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Just the whole him just walking up to the building and climbing on it like it's no big deal.
And there was the rifle had to be up on top because he didn't have it in his hands. It had to have been planted up there. Because he got up there.
This is the type of stuff they just want us to believe or don't care, really. They're like, what are you going to do about it, basically? I mean, this is the story we're going with, and what are you going to do about it? Talk about it on your little podcast? Have fun. You know, I mean, it's about they don't care. It's crazy, man. So that
question everything.
It really just brings you back to how much more of this has gone on in this country that you don't even fathom, and then it's like, what's coming next? I mean, who's next?
What's next?
I know.
I'm afraid to look next during the morning. I'll wait till I'm good and awake, and I'll go,
yeah.
Okay, who have we bombed today? How many narco boats have we blown out of the water with fentanyl? And
I forgot about
day
them.
by day, dude.
Donald just nuking them. He's like, they got a little fentanyl on them. I saw the dust.
Yeah.
Now
there's always more to every story.
I feel sorry for the rich guy who took his boat out with his 3 girlfriends and had a little fentanyl on the boat just for party and got blowed up. So.
Done. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So. All right. Well, it's late. Let's wrap it up. Everybody out there tuning in, make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't done it yet. We appreciate y'all watching. Clyde, we of course appreciate you, brother. We got to do this again, man.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Hanging out.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It was fun. Like I said, I didn't know. I thought you were ready to run. I'm thinking, well, he don't want to talk all this nonsense with us. So.
Oh, yeah. It's better than talking about disasters, man.
No, that was cool, man. I appreciate you staying for sure.
Yeah. We'd love to have you back, man.
I see CSR. Let me ask CSR real quick. What is your first name? I'm tired of calling you that. You're here all the time, and I only know you by CSR 5407. That's a dumb name. I'm not going to say that anymore. Tell me your first name. And even if you're trying to stay anonymous, whatever your first name is, I promise you there's millions of those in the country. So nobody's going to know who you are. Let me see if I can get him to tell me his name. Matt, I see you, buddy. Have a good night, Matt.
Crowdsource.
Absolutely.
Yep.
resource.
Let me see. Come
I
on.
know a
wait,
couple
no.
CSRs.
There he is. Can say it because my name you can Google. Your first name?
Oh,
Come on, man. What kind of shit is that?
He's nuts, Steve.
CSR.
Come on. Well, give me something to call your middle name or something. I'm not. It's so unique. No one has it. Oh, get out of here.
Crap.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whatever. I got a unique
Name's gonna
name.
be like, like Greg or something. Tell me your middle name. Give me something. I don't want to call you CSR. I don't.
Try having a name like Clyde.
I'll take Clyde over
Right
CSR.
turn, right turn, Clyde.
Clyde.
Like, I'm orangutan.
So
Come on, see. Maybe one day I'll get it out of you, CSR. I
Yep,
appreciate
absolutely.
it, oh, everybody's guessing Caesar. That's his real name.
That's what they call it from now on.
That's what you are from now on.
Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar. Yeah, good
Now,
one, Matt.
look,
Absolutely, dude.
Now he's in the comments saying he'll come on the show. You said that before, but
Come-
you said you wanted to be in disguise. So I can't.
Come on.
What you gonna have? I'll do it if you get like an old mask that the wrestlers used to wear. You get one of those and pull it on. I'll let you come on.
Want to pull a Jim Carrey on us? Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
Car
Caesar. You
is
can do it.
My car is in my troll name. Well, he's Caesar to us from now on. So there you go.
Is it
Absolutely.
Corolla?
Yeah,
Thank you,
have a
Matt.
Great night.
Good name, Matt.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good night, Clyde. Have a good
right, man.
night, and we'll do this again for sure. So
For sure.
everybody,
God
be good.
bless.
I think what is tonight?
Thank you for
Friday?
what you do.
Yep.
Thank you,
we'll
guys. I
be back
appreciate the support.
Monday. Yep. We'll be back Monday night doing the same thing. So y'all be good out there.
All
Later.
right, you guys. All right.
Later.
Bruce.
Later.